and Nance removed from the stage, an usher approached the monarch, and said that Master Potts entreated a moment's audience of his Majesty. "Potts!" exclaimed James, somewhat confused. "Was he? Ah, yes, I recollect. A witch finder. Well, let him approach." Accordingly, the next moment, the little attorney, whose face was evidently charged with some tremendous intelligence, was ushered into the king's presence. After a profound reverence, he said, "May it please your Majesty, I have something for your private ear." "Weel, then," replied James, "approach us more closely. What you got to say, sir? Aught mair agin these witches?" "A great deal, sire," said Potts, in an impressive tone. "Something dreadful has happened something terrible." "Eh! What?" exclaimed James, looking alarmed. "What is it, man? Speak." "Murder, sire murder has been done," said Potts, in low, thrilling accents. "Murder!" exclaimed James, horror stricken. "Tell us all about it, and without more ado." But Potts was still circumspect. With an air of deepest mystery, he approached his head as near as he dared to that of the monarch, and whispered in his ear. "Can this be true?" cried James. "If sae, it's very shocking very sad." "It is too true, as your Majesty will find on investigation," replied Potts. "The little girl I told you of, Jennet Device, saw it done." "Weel, weel, there's nae accounting for human frailty and wickedness," said James. "Let all necessary steps be taken at once, and we will consider what to do. But, d'ye hear, sir? Dinna let the bairn Jennet go. Hold her fast. Do you mind that? Now go, and cause the guilty party to be put under arrest." And on receiving this command, Master Potts departed. Scarcely was he gone than Nicholas Assheton came up to the railing of the platform, and, imploring his Majesty's forgiveness for the disturbance he had occasioned, explained that it had been owing to the seizure of the two Devices, who, for some wicked but unexplained purpose, had contrived to introduce themselves, under various disguises, into the tower. "You did right to arrest the miscreants, sir. But have ye heard what has happened?" "No, my liege," replied Nicholas, alarmed by the king's manner. "What is it?" "Come nearer, and ye shall learn, for we wadna hae it bruited about, though, if true, as we canna doubt, it will be known soon enough." And as the squire bent forward, he imparted some intelligence to him, which instantly changed the expression of the latter to one of mingled horror and rage. "It is false, sire," he cried. "I will answer for her innocence with my life. She could not do it. Your Majesty's patience is abused. It is Jennet who has done it, not she. But I will unravel the terrible mystery. You have the other two wretches prisoners, and can enforce the truth from them." "We will essay to do so," replied James. "But we have also another prisoner." "Christopher Demdike?" said Nicholas. "Ay, Christopher Demdike," rejoined James; "but another besides him. Mistress Nutter. You stare, sir, but it is true. She is in yonder pavilion. We ken full well who assisted her flight, and who concealed her. Master Potts has told us all. It is weel for you that your poor kinsman, Richard Assheton, did us such good service at the boar hunt to day. We shall not now be unmindful of it, even though he cannot send us the ring we gave him." "It is here, sire," replied Nicholas. "It was stolen from him by the villain Jem Device. The poor youth meant to use it for Alizon. I now deliver it to your Majesty, as coming from him in her behalf." "And we sae receive it," replied the monarch, brushing away the moisture that gathered thickly in his eyes. At this moment, a tall personage, wrapped in a cloak, who appeared to be an officer of the guard, approached the railing. "I am come to inform your Majesty that Christopher Demdike has just died of his wounds," said this personage. "And sae he's had a stray death after a'," rejoined James. "Well, we are sorry for it." "His portion will be eternal bail," observed the officer. "How knew you that, sir?" demanded the king, sharply. "You are not his judge." "I witnessed his end, sire," replied the officer, and no man who died as he died can be saved. The fiend was beside him at his death throes." "Save us!" exclaimed James. "Ye dinna say so. God sent man, but this is gruesome. And gaes the flesh creep on one's banes? Let his foul carcass be ta'en away, and hang it on a gibbet on the hill where Malkin Tower since stood, as a warning to a' such heinous offenders." As the King ceased speaking, Master Potts appeared, out of breath and greatly excited. "She has escaped, sire," he cried. "Wha, Jennet?" exclaimed James. "If sae, we'll hang you in her stead." "No, sire." "Alizon," replied Potts. "I can nowhere find her now," and he hesitated. "Weel, weel, it's nae great matter," replied James, as if relieved, and with a glance of satisfaction at Nicholas. "I know where Alizon is, sire," said the officer. "Indeed!" exclaimed James. "This fellow is strangely officious," he muttered to himself. "And where may she be, sir?" he added aloud. "I will produce her within a quarter of an hour in yonder pavilion," replied the officer, "and all that Master Potts has been unable to find." "Your Majesty may trust him," observed Nicholas, who had attentively regarded the officer. "Depend upon it, he will make good his words." "You think so?" cried the King. "Then we'll put him to the test. You will engage to confront Alizon with her mother?" he added to the officer. "I will, sire," replied the other; "but I shall require the assistance of a dozen men." "Take 20 if you will," replied the King. "I am impatient to see what she can do." "In a quarter of an hour all shall be ready within the pavilion, sire," replied the officer. "You have seen one masked knight, but you shall now behold a different one, the mask of death." And he disappeared. Nicholas felt sure he would accomplish his task, for he had recognised in him the Cistercian monk. "Where is Sir Richard Assheton of Middleton?" inquired the King. "He left the Tower with his daughter Dorothy immediately after the banquet," replied Nicholas. "I am glad of it, right glad," replied the monarch. "The terrible intelligence can be the better broken to them. If it had come upon them suddenly, it might have been fatal, especially to the poor lassie. Let Sir Ralph Assheton of Whalley come to me, and Master Richard Nowell of Read." "Your Majesty shall be obeyed," replied Richard Hoghton. The King then gave some instructions respecting the prisoners, and bade Master Potts have Jennet in readiness. And now to see what terrible thing had happened. Chapter 10.